Locals aren't happy. The roads are frozen. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. This is Into the Chicane, the Las Vegas Grand Prix preview. Something that we've waited an entire year to be able to say. It's finally here, Brandon. How do you feel about it?
It's very, very exciting. As you said, we've been waiting for about a year since they first announced it, and we're finally here.
Yeah, it's a very exciting time. We're coming to you a little bit late. We usually have this podcast done and released on a Wednesday. I've been extremely sick. My voice is going to be very hoarse, so it's going to be a very Brandon-heavy episode. So lucky for you guys. But the Las Vegas Grand Prix is finally fucking here. It's something that we've been waiting for since their announcement. I can't believe it's actually happening. And things are kind of falling off the rails a little bit. People are...
Really?
Yeah, I think so. At least like from the, the outside perspective. I'm sure Formula One, the teams, sorry, it's going to be a lot of that. And the FIA and everybody involved has a better grasp on the situation than it may seem. But, social media, Twitter, TikTok, all the locals losing their shit, bashing the race, pulling the screens off of the glass on the bridges, talking about the destruction of their beautiful, well-cultured city, Las Vegas, Nevada. All that shit. Plus, the oversight, as it seems to be an oversight of temperature on the track. Seems to be a little bit in shambles. Like, I'm getting text messages from people, friends of ours who aren't even race fans being like, is this thing going to be a complete disaster?
You know what? I feel like, this is going to be the first year of this event. There was a lot that had to be put in place in order for this to happen. And of course, there's going to be, little things here and there that are not going to be perfect. But I think the backlash has been largely hyped.
Yeah.
It seems to me, overall, yes, there's been some annoying things as far as traffic, certain parts of the strip being closed off, shut down. So people who maybe are there to go visit Las Vegas just to see Vegas in the weeks leading up to the event have been a little disappointed not getting to see things like the fountains at Bellagio and stuff like that. But
God, who gives a shit?
A lot of the workers for the casinos and the venues around there complaining about the traffic and just the amount of time that it's taken them just to get to work every day. So definitely been an annoying.
Yeah. You live in a
project,
gift shop,
I think.
though. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah.
You guys live in an amusement park. You live and work at Universal Studios. You have a fake Taj Mahal. You have a fake Eiffel Tower. Half your buildings have roller coasters attached to them. What do you expect? If you want to see the Bellagio fountains, go watch Ocean's 11. Okay? They're in there. A lot.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's a lot of other parts that are great about Las Vegas that you can go and enjoy. So yes, it's going to be inconvenient and annoying for a lot of people, but I think the overwhelming amount of people that are locals or that work there are seemingly genuinely excited about the whole event.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to be proven as far as like what kind of benefit it will actually bring. I think if we get some high rollers out there dropping a lot of extra money on the on the poker tables and tipping their bartenders and stuff like that, I think it could be.
They're not going to be complaining when Zach Brown goes fucking $100,000 all in on black, and then tips
blows
out
$1 million. Yeah, blows $1 million at the strip club or something.
Exactly.
So,
I get it. I think, we live in Los Angeles. I'm not looking forward to the World Cup or the Olympics that are coming here, but it's also going to be cool. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
then it'll be gone.
It will be a little bit different, but I think in general it's going to be probably a very exciting event, all just to be there in the city when this is going down, and that seems evident to me at least. But I guess if you don't really care much about motorsports and you have to deal with that traffic every day, you might be really mad about and want to go tweet about it a lot. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, you're right. They do live in Las Vegas. They should be a little bit more understanding.
Yeah, it's just
About
funny the
everything.
amount of backlash from people. Not even like the backlash in general, but just the amount and like the vitriol of it all.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you guys live in a fucking carousel. What are you
Yeah. Well,
talking about?
I do also think there's a contingent of people out there online that just want to see the FIA fail.
Yeah.
Because and one thing that is a big factor in this event compared to the rest of the races on the calendar is that event is being promoted by Formula One itself. There's
Right.
no other, like a lot of the other races, there's an intermediary. Sometimes it's the local government of the track or whatever is hosting the race. But in this case, it was Formula One that made the deal with Vegas to put on this event. And so F1 itself is investing a lot of money to make this happen, $500 million.
Yeah, it was an extra 100 million, right? It was originally
Say that again?
It was an extra 100 million that they had to pump into it. It was originally 400 million, and then at like the halfway mark, I think they had to funnel in another hundo.
Yeah, and then they got an additional 40, I think, from the city of Las Vegas itself, which that alone was a hot topic, because then people were upset saying that, oh well, then that's costing the people of Las Vegas then if the city's giving them money. But
Yeah.
the counter to that is that comes from a pool of money that is collected by like room tax that you pay when you go and stay at any of like the hotels and casinos and stuff. So a majority of that is being covered by people who are potentially coming in for the event. So
There you go.
But nonetheless, there is.
But also, we should mention that they might not have as many people coming in for the event as they had originally planned, because ticket prices and hotel prices are plummeting.
Yeah, and from what I understand, that was kind of anticipated.
Really?
As in an event or in an effort to fill in some of the seats, yeah, they were going to be lowering prices, and I think we've seen this at most of the events, right, where the initial ticket prices are very high, especially for some of the packages, and then either they release more tickets, or at the end, there's the last few weeks leading up to the race, there's a bunch of GA tickets that go on sale. So
Yeah, I think a lot of
think
times
that's just normal.
That's just like a head count thing, though. You know what I mean? They like find out how much more they can really pack in. But this is like they're really selling off a lot of shit. I think it's they didn't sell as much as they intended to. I understand, the plan might have been all along to release, some later cheaper ones. That I totally get, but I think there's a little bit of a yard sale happening here.
Yeah, that's definitely possible.
Because some of the original prices were fucking ridiculous. And there are races that sell out right away.
Yeah.
Like, Mexico last year, COTA last year, only had 1-day tickets at the very end, and a lot of them were third-party sellers. So,
yeah, and I'd be interested to see what the differences in capacity are for those different venues. So I don't know if like in Vegas, part of the reason they have way more tickets available is because the capacity is so much larger. I don't know, but something that is interesting. I will be paying close attention how this weekend fills out. This is a 10-year deal they have.
I did not realize that. I heard that the other day, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I completely forgot about it. I thought they were on like a 1 to 2 year deal basis.
Yeah, but apparently on the FIA side, it's only a 2 or 3 year commitment.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I get the feeling that's going to be renegotiated at some point. A lot of it's just going to be dependent on how this plays out. So let's talk about it. Like the race itself. The track, not exciting. We all know that. It looks like Spider Pig from The Simpsons.
I don't know.
But it has appealing parts. It's got a lot of high-speed sections, which can be good. But high-speed sections also doesn't necessarily equate to great racing. You need a lot of good cornering. And there's like a little bit of a mini carousel in there, like a big round portion. Not exactly like a carousel as you're used to it, but like a little teeny tiny one. and then where the pig's feet would be, some nice little square cornering. But it could, and then you mix that. It could provide for good racing, and then you mix that with what we might see in a little bit of chaos with tire temperatures. Whether or not this is like conducive to good racing, it could still be exciting and eventful.
100%. You're adding in that extra element of uncertainty.
Exactly.
This is the one track that no one has any real data about. They've had like their sim tracks that they've built that they've been practicing on, but other than layout, I don't think there's a whole lot of information that they can really use going into this weekend. That it's really going to come down to these 3 practice sessions, and the teams are really going to have to get everything spot on as far as getting through all their runs, making sure that there's no hiccups. If one of the cars goes out there and has a technical issue that takes away some of their running time, I think that's going to be a huge detriment to their weekend. So
that would be a disaster.
So there's so much that's going to go into it. So even just the fact that they're racing at such a different time. All the drivers are going to have to get used to their sleep schedule being different.
Yeah,
I know that's I've already heard some complaints
silly,
from some
but
people getting.
It's true.
Yeah, so
they're going to be racing well past midnight.
Yeah, the race starts at 10 p.m.
Local time.
I guess so our local time. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's for us as well because us and Nevada are on Pacific Standard Time. But East Coasters, they're going to be watching this race at 1 a.m. You talk about...
It's pretty wild.
I saw, excuse me, a lot of people complaining, too, about, we finally have this nice run of races in my home country. I can watch them at a reasonable hour. Oh, wait, this one's starting at 1 a.m. for me here in, New Jersey or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It is funny. It's funny, though, because they're doing this in part to placate the international audience, right?
Sure. Also, you don't want to race in Vegas in the day.
It does kind of make it a little more to the vibe, I think, of Vegas. Absolutely. Having it at night, the lights and stuff.
Absolutely. Vegas is a nightlife town. You have to race in Vegas at night.
Right. It just makes more sense that way.
They could have maybe done it at 6 or 7, and that would have been a little bit cooler for some
evening.
folks.
Yeah, you get the sunset. You know what I mean? You get a little
not even just the sun is setting at
5 o'clock now.
5 o'clock. Yeah, we're well into fall, whatever you want to call it, winter. So the sun is setting early. I think it's getting dark about 7 o'clock. That would have been a nice start time. You get a little bit of the sunset coming, lights out, and then literally lights out. The track of the sun.
Yeah,
that could have been cool. But I'm also cool with 10 p.m.
Yeah. A lot of worries about just the track itself. Obviously they had to, lay a bunch of new tarmac for the circuit, as they're racing on just the strip. So they have to create a new service for that. But it's not going to have any rubber down on it. There's not going to be any events leading up to it. So these first practice sessions are going to be, I think we're going to see a big change throughout the sessions as far as obviously track times, but just I think teams will probably be having to maybe chase the setup a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll be a little bit tricky this weekend for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be, strategies are going to be really interesting. It's going to be so interesting to see how many sets of soft tires get used in these 3 rounds of practice, right? Because those are going to be so vital to the race. If it's really going to be that cold, because it's supposed to be 34 degrees in Nevada?
Yeah, something like that.
In the evening. People forget, you think of Las Vegas, you think of Nevada, you go, oh, it's the desert, it's going to be hot. The desert also gets freezing fucking cold. We grew up in the desert. We know how it goes. It used to snow in Southern California where we lived.
Yeah, it'll go from 100 degrees during the day to 60 degrees at night.
or more, 80 degrees
Yeah.
down to 30 sometimes, whatever. But just a giant variable. So it's supposed to be the coldest race in F1 history, which is going to be nuts. You're not going to see snow or rain.
Is it the coldest in history?
I believe so. And there have been snowy races, right?
I don't know about that. I know that Turkey a couple years ago was pretty cold. And they've had races that were in the temperature range that we're most likely going to be in. So I don't think it'll be too
I heard
wild.
Coldest, like at least for track temp in the history of F1. I want to say it was like from the Athletic too.
Let me see. Coldest F1 race ever. Okay, so 1978 Canadian Grand Prix was 41 degrees Fahrenheit, 5 degrees Celsius. So I don't, and it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be.
They're looking at 34.
I know, but it was because it was supposed to be 11 or 10 and a half degrees Celsius this weekend. Let's see, Vegas temperatures. Saturday, November. What is it?
November 16th is today.
November 18th. So the day of the race at that time.
What are you just looking up the weather?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not going to be that cold. It's going to be 48 degrees low.
Yeah, but at what time? What time of day?
At that time, 10 p.m.
What? I was hearing 34. Or maybe they were worried about it being that low. I don't know. Either way, it's going to be cold, and it's going to be an issue for tires. That's the whole point. Is that it's going to, cause a lot of strategic gambling going on, potentially. Probably not going to see the hards used at all. Yeah, and I'm glad for it.
Let's see it.
Yeah. All right. You want to get into predictions?
Sure. Let's do it. You got one to start us off?
I'm going to say both Williams in the points.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think Alex is going to be flying high speed track. And Logan's going to show up and get 10th, and he's going to nab that point. Or there's going to be so many DNFs that Logan just slots in.
Okay. I'll piggyback off that, and I'll say Albon through to Q3.
Okay.
I don't know is that too easy? Is that not bold enough?
I think on a track like this, that's like a given that Alex is going to make Q3. I think it would be bolder to say like to Williams not in Q3.
Yeah. But I think it's going to happen. I think he's going to damn.
Well, go for it.
Okay.
I will say I'm going to say 3-team podium.
3-team podium.
Yeah. I'm going to
I'm going to say
I'll just leave it there.
I wanted to say a Ferrari on the podium, but I'm going to make it even more specific. I'm going to say Carlos Sainz on the podium.
Ooh. Okay. And I'm going to say between all sessions, all 5 sessions, FP1 through 3, qualifying and the race, we see at least one protest.
Oh, one protest. Okay.
We already saw it in the Netflix Cup. Did you see that?
No. What was that all about?
The Netflix Cup or the protest?
The protest. I know what the Netflix Cup was, but
you didn't watch any of that?
I saw the clips online. There was the one where they started off where they hit they tee off and then they
have to run
rush to the golf cart. Yeah.
I was watching it in bed, like under the covers, completely wrapped up like a little fucking snug as a bug in a rug, and I was just watching it on my phone. I don't know. There was a protest out of nowhere. A couple people But it was funny the amount of people who were scrambling to grab them because Bert Kreischer was hosting part of the event and he ran up and grabbed one of the protesters.
God.
He grabbed this chick by her waist and like bear hugged her from the back with her sign all crumpled up. I don't know what they were protesting. They couldn't get their they unfortunately couldn't get their message across. Real sad day. But I think I think they're not done. I think we get one more.
Let's see it. I would love to see that.
What's your third?
I was gonna say a red flag, but I'm gonna go even bolder here. Max Verstappen does not win.
Ooh, I was thinking that. I got a feeling that Lando Norris might get his first here.
I feel it in my gut, but I'm too afraid to say it out loud.
You think it's going to be Lando? That doesn't have to be your pick.
No, I mean, I don't know. Like I just feel like it's looming. So I feel like every race I'm just going to have that in the back of my mind. Like this could be the one. This could be the one.
I mean, we've been feeling that way since June.
He's on a streak, right? Like how many podiums is that in a row? I don't know.
Lando?
Yeah.
A lot.
So
a lot.
All it takes is a puncture. I believe
he holds the record for most podiums without a win now.
He very, very well probably does, but just
or the most points without a win or something.
Yeah, one small mistake or one small accident can bring it home. So
yeah, it'd be a shame if somebody dropped some tacks out on the track.
Did you? Did you watch the opening ceremonies?
I did catch a little bit of it. I lost the stream at like a really weird point. I was watching it, and then it just like shut off. I didn't know if that was the end, but I did catch a lot of it. And
thoughts?
I thought it looked cool as shit. The paddock with the big giant F1 logo on top of it. I was kind of out of it because I was in just a haze of like a fever dream of this flu, but it looked cool. It looked dope.
Yeah,
the drivers up on the risers and all that. Each team getting announced, getting risen up. That was cool, man.
I understand some of the drivers were not stoked on it and felt kind of awkward and just, a lot of people out there that were just kind of didn't like it and felt that it was just not what the sport is about. But at the same time,
they said the same thing when we did this in Miami.
Exactly.
And they're going to come. They're going to come for our heads. And just remember the war, okay? We already won. We get to do what we want, okay?
I know I expected it to be a lot more cringy than it actually was.
I thought it was cool.
Totally fine. It was cool. It was like a Super Bowl halftime show. There was the fireworks and the lights, and you get this one song from the different artists.
I'm actually going to watch it again. That's how much I enjoyed it. Miami was cringy. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, and it's if you're not into that thing, then don't watch it. It was on YouTube. It wasn't even on like it wasn't on
F1 TV. It wasn't on Sky. It wasn't on ESPN. It was on YouTube.
You had to go to a separate source to go and watch it voluntarily. It wasn't So if
Miami,
you don't like it, just
Miami was cringy. That I got. Like that was tacky. It was like half this like football mixed with F1 thing that they were trying to do. It was weird and obnoxious. This was dope. It was late at night, under the lights, fireworks, fucking steam guns going off, The shit looked cool. I can understand the drivers not enjoying it. It's not something that they're used to, but this is also like, it's historic. I want to say it's never been done, but unfortunately they did race in Vegas 3 different times, but under completely different circumstances. And this just about makes up for, the Caesars Palace Grand Prix. So
hopefully.
Voila, there you have it.
Yeah, so we shall see. There's a lot to find out after this weekend, but it's going to be fun. I think it's going to add an extra element of excitement, and overall it just feels like such a huge event, and just I think overall it's going to be good as long as the racing is not, or like as long as the track is not falling apart and they just can't race or something.
Yeah, I think
it's going to be fine. So
I think it's going to be good. Yeah. Just so long as there's some decent racing. A couple overtakes, and this will go off without a hitch. Like, the event itself, I think, will take care of most of the entertainment value. And if the racing's not great, which it very well might not be, I think that's fine because we also have a bunch of other boring tracks. So,
sure. Yeah.
And, my whole theory is that this is meant to replace one of them. So, there you have it. Anything else?
No, I
right.
think just everybody get some beverages, some coffee, whatever you need to stay up and enjoy the race.
Yes, drink plenty of fluids, take your vitamins, eat your proteins, kick your colds,
some
and
chicken soup.
The original plan was to do a live stream watch along, as we normally do. That might shift if I don't kick this flu in time, so we'll get back to you guys as best we can. We'll put out some sort of notification if you guys are looking out for that. Either way, we'll probably do one via Discord and then have it up on YouTube or whatever. Right? Yeah. Something like that.
We'll probably live stream though, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I think we will be in good shape by then. Either way, this has been the Las Vegas Grand Prix preview, something I've been waiting to say forever. We will see you guys after the race. Peace.